Scott Cawthon, a man known for many things. A family man, a troll, but you mostly know him as a game developer, and you definitely recognize his indie horror franchise when it comes to gaming, Five Nights at Freddy's, which has the most convoluted lore I have ever seen. But man, the games are very nostalgic, especially nowadays. Now, you probably are aware that Scott has made other video games before creating Five Nights at Freddy's, but what you don't know is that he actually made his own movies. You see, he actually worked at an animation studio called Hope Animation, a studio that is known for creating Christian animated movies. Which today I'm going to be talking about his 3 animated movies that he animated for the studio. And we are going to start off with Noah's Ark, which came out in 2004 or 2005. I did a lot of research. I couldn't find the exact year that this movie came out, but most of them said 2005, so we're going with that. Obviously, this movie is based on the biblical story of Noah's Ark. Of course, God is very angry at the world because of how evil it had become when it came to all of the sins. And of course, Noah is aware of this because he prays to God and is aware of how evil the world had become. And he knows that God is going to flood the world to create a new world, a better world. And of course, he decides to build an ark because God tells him to. And nobody believes him besides his family, who helps him. All of his sons help him build the ark for the animals to get into the ark so that they can survive the global flood and enter the new world after the flood is done. I mean, yeah, it's basically Noah's Ark, and there's nothing wrong with that. If I'm being honest, I actually really enjoyed watching this. To be fair, most of these movies aren't even like an hour long. They're basically like 58 minutes at most. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching Noah's Ark, and the way of how Scott uses his cinematography for the animals and Noah and his sons building the ark itself, it's really cool. I actually really enjoyed watching this. And for this being animated by just one guy, it's pretty impressive. I mean, sure, the animation looks outdated, but for this being animated by Scott, it's still impressive. Now, I think the humans look a little off. They're not terrible. I just think that in size, they just look like big. Even the hands, the head, and like the eyes just popping off, it just looks off. But again, this entire movie is still very impressive when it comes to it being made by Scott. To be fair, I don't have much else to say about Noah's Ark, and I will probably say the same for the next movie, which is The Pilgrims Progress. Now, unlike Noah's Ark, this actually got its own video game by Scott. It's very much like an RPG role-playing game, kind of like Final Fantasy in a way, but we're not talking about the game, we're talking about the movie. And I'm gonna be honest, I have never read The Pilgrim's Progress, so I'm not too sure how accurate this movie is towards the book, but I'm very sure there's a scene that is definitely not in the book and was just put in there into the movie to just fill in time. But the story is very simple. It's about this guy named Christian who is ashamed of his sins and he wants redemption. In order to get this redemption, he needs to go towards this city called Celestial City so that he can get his redemption and not have those sins anymore. It's very simple. It's a story about redemption and him going through trials and errors throughout his adventure. It's a very simple story. The movie is overall pretty good. Compared to Noah's Ark, the story is a lot more complex than Noah's Ark, and because of that, the animation has improved by a lot, especially when it comes to the human designs and just the environments themselves. I think that this must have been something personal towards Scott and how much he loves the story of the Pilgrim's Progress. And overall, yeah, it really does show how much he truly does love the Pilgrim's Progress. This was a movie that was animated by him, voice acted. It really is impressive. Compared to Noah's Ark, this is a step up, and I would still say that both movies are very good. Now let's talk about the third and final movie, A Christmas Journey, about the blessings God gives. Now, unlike the other two that I just talked about, this movie is fully original. It's not based on anything. This is a movie that was written, animated, and voice acted by Scott himself. And honestly, it's actually really, really good. And it's easily my favorite movie that I saw out of all of them. It's also the shortest, which is kind of sad because I really enjoyed this movie. So, what is the movie about? Well, it's a movie about a boy named Ian and his sister who don't celebrate Christmas because of their angry grandfather, who only gets like vegetable cans for Christmas, and to him, that's what Christmas really means.
Grandpa, some of these cans expired before I was born.
You're gonna expire if you don't listen to what I say. What do you think of that?
It's not until Ian runs into an angel in person that came from God, and his name is Nicholas, and he teaches Ian and his sister the true meaning of Christmas. Now, of course, the story is very simple, but what you see throughout the movie is very meaningful. It's very creative, it's very funny, it has a lot of really good moments. It's a movie that honestly has really good writing. The pacing is done extremely well, the writing is funny and is full of heart, and it's a movie that makes me wish that Scott would do more movies like this. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys all get the point that I really like this movie, and I would definitely recommend checking this movie out. Now, before ending this video, I want to let you all know that I am going to be giving some links to these movies in the description below so that you can check them out for yourself. Because they really aren't that long, and I would definitely say that all three of them are worth your time. Now I want to talk about this statement that Scott posted on his website talking about his retirement in game developing. And this is something that I can definitely respect because he wants to focus on his family and his personal life. And I just want to thank Scott so much for bringing so much memories when it comes to these games and how much they truly do mean to me. They definitely do hold a special place in my heart, and I wish Scott and his family the best. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Have a blessed and wonderful Christmas, and I will see you all next time. Bye.